Why don't you go ahead and I think you got Sammy on. I see.
Yep.
You guys go ahead and shoot out the questions that you had to get us rolling, and then as others jump on, we'll probably get into some other topics around Leadvault.
Perfect. So we got Sammy. I think Sammy's the only one. I haven't seen if Samir's on here as well, but Sammy's kind of rolling with the back end of Leadvault. They're on there a couple weeks on there. So what we've been able to help them integrate kind of the back end, all the basic stuff. Sammy's been through the university, so that's pretty good there. So the big question here, so probably everybody can use this as well, is the dialer. Example or scenario would be what Samir and Sammy are trying to do is eventually they want to have a call center, basically just dedicated call center to call out to all these leads. So they want to figure out how does that work inside of Leadvault, how they would kind of assign it to a caller, how all that stuff. Maybe you can kind of show some examples of how they can utilize Leadvault to do that.
So Sammy, why don't you start us off by telling me first where are the leads coming from?
So I'm actually just kind of getting into all of this, and my dad is taking me under his wing, but he couldn't get to the meeting. But I know he was saying he wanted to do kind of like Roger was saying, like mass text messages, like sending out messages like that he's getting from a list that I think he's going to be skip tracing.
Okay, so he's going to buy a list, skip trace it, and then you guys are going to upload these in.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So with that, let me share the screen so you guys can actually see. And Chris S., you're the only one I see right now. Give me a thumbs up that you see Leadvault. Perfect. Cool. Let me double check if this one even has it in here. This demo account. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, let me just double check that I didn't overlook that. No. Okay. First thing that you're going to want to do is not in here. Okay. I want to make sure I didn't duplicate a workflow. You guys are going to want to create a workflow. And before I even get into this, let me just make sure that everybody else is kind of tracking what Sammy and Samir want to do. It's basically, hey, we're going to skip trace a list, upload it, and then we want to have somebody else just dial out, right? Smile dial, call these people, try to qualify them, right? The typical old cold outreach strategy. Does that make sense? So what you're going to want is when you guys upload the list, you're going to want to, there's a couple things we need to build in play first in the account to make sure when you upload the list and you do a couple things, everything functions correctly. The first one that you're going to want to do is create a workflow, and you're going to start from scratch. And it really doesn't need a trigger because you can manually add, or this could be triggered off of an action. And why is my mouse dying on me? I just put new batteries in. Come on, mouse. There it goes. We're going to call this cold calls, call center workflow. And I'm going to trigger this off of a tag. So I'm going to select the trigger. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say tag, contact tag, tag added. And I would put go call center as the tag. Now there is no results found here, so give me a second to create that tag in there. And if your tag, you guys, this will probably be your same process. You won't have this tag created yet. So you're going to actually want to come in to settings and go to tags. And you're going to actually, let me tell this to ignore, close. You're going to create a tag called code call / call center. Now, the tag is going to be used to tag a mass amount of people that you guys upload, right? It'll put a tag on their contact record. And then basically what we're doing is telling the system, hey, I want you to do this if they have this tag. So let me make sure I can pull this back in now. Make me reload and refresh everything. Great. From scratch. Come on. All right. Tag. And there's the trigger. So now basically what we're doing is saying, hey, this workflow is only going to do what we tell this workflow to do if a contact record has the tag cold call / call center. Okay. And it's a very simple workflow actually that needs to be done. All you're going to do is schedule a manual call for those records. Okay. If you and Sammy or Roger, because you guys kind of have the details, I guess, are you going to have a dedicated person doing this?
I think, yeah, we don't right now, but eventually there will be someone for doing all of this. Yeah.
Okay. So then what I would also do is assign this to a particular user. Okay. And you would want to, whoever that person is, you'd want to give them a user account in here. Roger knows how to add these in. But in this case, I'm just going to pick myself and hold on one second. I'm actually in the middle of a meeting. Thank you. So I'm just going to pick my name because my name's I am a user in this demo account, right? But imagine that's, whoever your cold caller is going to be. And I'd hit. So what I'm basically saying is, hey, when they get this tag, go ahead and assign them to this person and then schedule a manual call. Okay. And you'll see why this makes sense here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. Under settings, I'm going to make sure that I turn on this allow multiple just in case somebody doesn't work the first time and we don't get in touch with them. We get another list. We want to make sure that we can keep the contact record coming back in. And I'm going to hit save. It's had an error. Come on. There it goes. So now the workflow is created for that. We can ignore this. The second thing that we want to do is make sure we can have a smart list where we can see all of these people that just have this tag on them. So under our contacts, we're going to click on more filters. We're going to say tag. Everything works just fine until we get on these calls. And now everything wants to lag. Mouse keeps cutting in and out. Operator. Tag is, and we're going to go ahead and pick that cold call center and hit apply. And I'm going to save this as a smart list. I'm going to call this my cold call / cold center list. Now, basically what I'm doing is I'm subcategorizing my contact list to say, hey, if they have this tag, show them on this view so that I don't have to sit here through the all, right? And this account only has these 3, right? And let's say these 2. I'm just going to add that tag really quick to them. So right now I only have 3 total contacts, right? But let's say I have thousands in there, but only a couple of them have the cold call center tag. Right now I see just those 2 that I added that tag have that. Okay. Reason this is done is I could just go right here. That person that's assigned, they could just go to this smart list and they could just start right here and say, okay, Steve Test, this person right here is on my list to call today. And they can just hit the phone right here. And as soon as they hit the phone, you see it starts to dial right up here at the top. I'm going to hang up so I don't call. I think that's Roger's cell phone number right there, or somebody's cell phone number. That's one way that they could do it. Okay. If they don't answer or whatever, they can always click notes right here, add a new note, put in notes about that phone call. If the call recording was on and they answered, the recording is going to show up right here. Does that part make sense for everybody, mainly Sammy, but everybody else? Yeah. The other way that this is happening now, because we gave them that tag, remember the automation that I built, this cold call center one, there's two people sitting in this manual call because we assigned that tag. It brought both of these two into this workflow, right? It also assigned it to me. So the other way that your call center person could do this is they could go under every time I come back to these screens, my errors are in the way. I gotta remember where it's at. Conversations. Here it is. The other way that they can do it is they can go under conversations and click manual action. And if you notice, I'm in here as a user. So I'm going to say, hey, I want to see all the manual things that have been assigned to me, right? And I've done this example before. That's why these ones are in here. So if I were to delete these right now, because these were old ones, you just see the two new ones that I just put that tag to, right? And I could click right here, let's start. So let's say your cold caller today, right? You had 80 names that you guys skip traced and uploaded into this and assigned to this particular user. I'm that user. I come in, I select my name, and I see 80 names right here. All I have to do is hit let's start. And it immediately, notice right up here, it's immediately trying to dial out to this phone number right here. Now, nothing happens, no answer comes. Come on, end the call. Where did I throw my mouse through the window, folks? Every 2 seconds, my connection's lost.
It wasn't me.
No, I just put new batteries in this thing and it not recognizing the click. Roger, is this your number, the 757-830-4562?
No, that's not mine.
I don't even know whose number that is. It's a fake
Might be
number.
a fake number. Yep.
I don't know if it's my internet or what. Everything is just really slow. It shows the two unsuccessfuls right there. Anyway, what's supposed to happen, if my shit would work, is when it can't connect or when you hang up the call, a box is supposed to pop up. And now it's not even doing the manual action. Damn it. Sorry, guys. I don't know if it's my internet or what. Getting annoyed. Might have to jump over to my other computer. Wonder if it's because I don't have. Anybody got questions while I do this? I might have to jump to my other computer. Everything's like not working suddenly on this computer.
No, we all just like watching you be frustrated.
It's I'm annoyed with my computer right now. So I'm curious. I think we can call directions, outgoing call status is, let's say, no answer, voicemail, busy, canceled. Basically, Sammy, I'm thinking ahead here. If they connected with the person, right, you're not going to add them to any kind of a follow-up, right? It's the ones that they don't get connected with. Well, that's basically what I'm doing here. Call direction. I'm going to create a trigger now. Call direction, outgoing, call status is any of these: busy, canceled, no answer, or voicemail. So if they would select any of those boxes in how'd the call go, that's going to fire this workflow, right? Maybe we call this one the cold call missed or something like that. And now it's, what do you want to have happen? Do you want to create another task to follow up with them, right? There's a number of ways that, depending on what your thought process is on the follow-up, what do you want to do? We could build that workflow. Now it's not based on a tag. It's just, hey, if they cold called out and they didn't answer, it was busy, they didn't, they got disconnected or whatever the case, timed out, whatever, anything that was not connected with them, this workflow would then fire at that point.
And you could just cause that to go into like a new list of like cold call follow-ups, or like send a text or whatever basically you wanted to do afterwards.
Yeah, you would have to think through what do you want it to do, and then I could show you kind of like which tasks would you want to build into this workflow on there. Maybe it's, hey, if they don't answer from the cold call, then I want to go ahead and try to send them an SMS, right? I want to try to text that phone number. If it's a mobile phone number, try to shoot a text out. Then maybe something like custom value first name, something like that, right? Obviously, I'd put a lot more thought into the message, but let's say if that was the text right there, and that's what I wanted to have happen was, hey, if it didn't answer, they hit one of these buttons, boom, this workflow fires and just shoots a text message.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably like text message and then add them to a list for follow-up.
Yep. So then you could do tag go ahead and add a tag at this point because they didn't answer. And cold call follow up, right? And then I'd do the same thing over under contacts. I'd create a smart list around the tag cold call follow up. And now you can see there's the cold call center one, and there's the cold call follow up, right? So if Steve, this one here, let's go. It's trying to call. Notice it just fired that text message right away, right? Now this one I manually called out of here. It wasn't in that flow, so it didn't have the box pop up, but it's doing the same thing, right?
Right.
This notice that, hey, it didn't happen, nothing worked. Now this phone number is it's not a textable number. It's a fake number that I put in here. So that's why it's showing unsuccessful on the delivery. But notice as soon as I hung up because it wasn't connecting, it immediately fired this, hey, Steve just tried to call you to see about your home selling needs, that text message that I wrote. And if Steve were to get this text and reply back, it would come into the conversation center, which at that point, that's more for you, your dad, that kind of stuff to start engaging with them because it's done its job. It's gotten them to respond.
Perfect. Yeah, that was super helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else have questions around that particular set of workflows or topics? Okay, Roger, you said you had a follow-up question on that.
Yeah, so it has to do with the phone number. So Steve, I'm just kind of mentioning that the guy on this list, Steve is seeing the number that he's seeing on his caller ID that we're using to call him is the Twilio number. Is that correct?
Correct. He would see this phone number right here in this case. Perfect.
So just to kind of give Sammy, just if anybody else is set up this way, Sammy actually has two numbers in there. Only one can be the primary number. So basically, Sammy, just so you know, it will always show the primary regardless if we're doing lands or houses, just for you guys. That's very specific to you guys, but it's okay because people don't know either way, right? So this is more just a number that's being outbound.
Yeah. So in your case, Sammy, it's right now, this is your primary phone number. The top dollar for your house's number is this is the primary phone number right here.
So then you're saying that it's always going to show up as the primary one, right?
Correct. That's what they would see coming through on their end. As of now, we're trying to work some stuff that by the end of Q3, right? We're coming to the end of Q2. Sorry, end of Q2, start of Q3. This phone system's actually going to get a little bit more robust. It's going to become more of a true voice over IP phone system where you actually can have a phone on your desk that's integrated into this call routing. And once we have that functionality, then we can dictate which phone number it is. Because now I can assign phone numbers to users and call route the phone call in certain ways. Outbound calls can come out from different numbers. But as it sits today, the basic integration into Twilio, this is what they would see as this phone number right here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect.
Any other questions around this or anything else from your end, Roger?
Nope. The only other thing I'll add here is you create a team member on settings. What is it? Actually, right there, staff. Yep. My staff.
Yeah, let me go back to
where you go.
Demo account so I can do it, not put it on their account. You're just going to go under settings to my staff. And you're going to say add an employee. You're going to put in their basic information, their first name, last name, an email for them, because that's the email that they're going to use to log into your Leadvault account, right? put a phone number for them if you want a phone number on there. You put in a password. You can make up that password for them, and then they can always reset their password if they choose. It depends if they're going to be doing a lot of outgoing emails and different things that you want user signature. This is where they would create their signature. They can integrate calendars to it. But the big one is permissions. You as an admin, Sammy, or your dad, Samir, you guys can go in there and dictate. You can turn any of this stuff on and off that you don't want them to have permissions to access. Okay. And then under roles, you're going to want to make sure they stay as a user. Don't select them as an admin. Admin will give them full rights, right? So you just make them a user, and then under the user permissions, you can actually say, hey, I only want them to be able to, maybe you don't want them to see the dashboard stats. Maybe you don't want them, getting into some of the workflows because you don't want them screwing up the workflows. You just turn these things off. They can't see it and access it is all. Okay. And then after you kind of do all this, you just hit save, and that creates the user account.
And right there, Sean, under call and voicemail settings, can you open that up real quick? Then they can assign one of the Twilio numbers to that user. For them, I noticed they have both the lands and the houses, so they have two. Does that matter here for someone that has multiple numbers? Again, right now, not really. Okay. In time, it's going to be more important once the call routing and kind of the full-blown call features get finalized. Got it. So we can leave it as default for Sammy in your situation. Leave it as default. It'll be the primary number that we're talking about. Okay. Got it. Correct. I think that's it. Okay. All right. Anybody else have questions pertaining to Leadvault? No? Then we can end today's call. That was a good session though, man.
That was good. Thank you, Sean.
Dialer.
I mean, now's your chance, folks. If you got thoughts, questions, you're trying to figure something out, you're trying to make something happen.
I'm starting from scratch right now, so I feel like I don't remember how to set anything up, but I don't want to waste everybody's time going through the basics.
The Leadvault University videos are really good. I had Samir and Sammy brand new, right, to this. That gave them the foundation, and we now are working into a little more advanced situation. So those would be probably the first stop. And then we just start kind of digging at, because what I noticed every time I work with somebody different, everybody's situation is different, everybody's need is different, and this tool is just so robust. It just depending on what you're trying to accomplish. That's why this call is so important. That's why I think it's super beneficial. I recommend Sammy to get on here every week, because then there's other ideas other members here will bring up that you didn't even think about, and that's kind of gives you ideas on what you can do as well. But yeah, Marie, for you guys are just kicking off that university section of those few videos. That's going to be huge for you.
And that's just in with all the rest of the TRC recordings?
I had a separate email that got sent to you that has university.leadvaultcrm.com, and your login there where all of the trainings for getting your Leadvault set up.
Perfect. I'll go find that email.
Roger, do me a favor, share your Leadvault screen. For some reason, I'm not seeing the black question mark on mine, and I don't know if it's me not loading correctly or what's going on.
Sure. I'm currently inside of the top dollar for your houses account, and there it is right here.
Why am I not seeing it? Try one more thing, because I haven't talked about the support stuff yet.
You want me to give a quick kind of rundown?
I just want to make sure that you're not cashed in and it's still showing, because I had it earlier.
Oh, got it. Let me refresh. Yeah, let me refresh here a couple times.
You might need to log out and log in.
Okay.
Chris, Sal, are you guys in? I don't see Chris on anymore. Marie, are you in your Leadvault account?
I can be. Hang
Yeah.
on.
In the top bubbles up at the, do you see a black circle with a question mark?
Yes.
I'll stop sharing. There you go. Maybe Marie can share real quick just to look at
I
it.
just want to make sure nothing's broke before we go showing it, and then everybody's like, I don't see it. We got some new help, a new help center set up to help you guys with support, so that you're not just relying on one call a week and me.
Roger, is that the same thing you were showing me? Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly in that little Loom video that I shot for you guys. Yeah, it's kind of explaining this entire support center. And it's brand new for the rest of you. That's why we haven't really mentioned it. We're testing it out, and now it's ready to go.
Okay, so it looks like Marie's seeing it. So Roger, did you log out and log in?
Yeah, I'm actually logging back in. I had to get my secure code.
So there's a lot of stuff in here.
There's a ton.
Oh yeah, every question you can almost have is there. General question.
So are these all your guys' videos? Or just general?
I can see things again.
Oh, we had a library created for this, so it's not necessarily us.
Gotcha.
All right, D-share yours. Let me share.
Okay, I'll stop.
Can
Yeah.
you share where that is again?
What
Sorry.
I'm trying to do, Sal.
Sorry.
Grab your seat. Hold on, because it's about to get good.
You beat me, Sal. Thank you.
See,
Happens
it's
when
not
I got
just
the-
me, Sean.
Two old guys.
It's that black circle with the
So
question mark.
anywhere in your account, I don't care where you're at, what page or whatever, these are always at the top up here. Ignore this blue one. This blue one is mine and Roger's internal. It's how we talk to our actual development side. You guys won't see that. You would see this one, the call button, and this black help button. Okay. The black help button is your new way to get support in the moment around Leadvault. There's two layers of support here. The first one is when you click on it, it's going to open up. It's going to say, hey, browse the library. And you're going to type in the search bar, whatever your freaking question is, right? Whatever your heart can come up with, there's probably an answer in there for it. Okay. Many of them even have videos that are kind of like tutorial style videos to help you out with this. There are the different sections. So if you're just kind of looking at stuff for workflows or the calendar or social media, whatever it is, right? You could go to those individual sections. But let's say I'm like, how in the heck do I create a form again? And I type forms. And now I can say, okay, how do I customize the form email or whatever it is, right? Okay, well, that's a lot. How to build a form. And it's going to say, hey, how to build and edit and utilize the forms inside of Leadvault, right? I click on it, and look, this one's got a little video tutorial where it's going to walk me through it. It's got information. It's got screenshots all through there, right? Typical help desk type stuff, right? Now, if you're still struggling, right, if that's still not enough to help you out, you have this little chat box that pops up down here in the corner when you're in the help center. This is live chat. You're going to open this up. You'd fill out your name, your email, whatever your question is, and you're going to hit start chat. Okay. Now, we are not the only ones that are leveraging this chat company to help with the support. There are a number of people, companies, whatever. This is what they do. This company is very knowledgeable on different platforms. They get trained up on platforms, and they have their live chat people try to help out. Roger, what were the time frames on this? It's Pacific time, right? It's like 8 to 5 Pacific or something.
Yeah, let me get that for you guys. Keep going on the explanation. I got to get that for you guys. Give me 1 second.
So it's Pacific time, but you can put this in. I have seen it in the heart, like the hype of the day. I have put in some test ones in there, and it has been like, hey, it's like a 20-minute wait to get your answer. But a 20-minute wait is still far better than waiting till next Wednesday to get on a call and ask the question, right? Or have a chance the next day, maybe on a daily call to ask your question. Okay. My suggestion is this right here. The help library, it's full of stuff. I mean, if you're having a hard time finding an answer in there, it's probably going to need to be something that we get on a call like this and strategize around to make happen. It's not just, something pretty common and basic. So let me make sure we're all good. Sal, Terry, it's this black circle.
Got it.
Sal, do you got it?
I got it.
Okay. I would encourage you guys, click on it, browse through it. Go through the different things that are in there, look different stuff up, find your questions, play with it a little bit, use the live chat if you need to ask some of those questions. And then if all else fails after that, then that's when you'd want to reach out to our support and say, hey, I've kind of expired everything I can inside the system. I think I kind of need Roger or Sean to help with something here. Okay. And if Roger just gets me that time, I believe you said it was 8 to 5 Pacific time.
Yeah, that's basically what I think it is. I just want to kind of make sure here.
It was either 8 to 5 Pacific time or 9 to 5 Pacific time, something like that. The
I
live
can
chat.
post it now that you put it on here. I can actually, well, I don't know if we want to post it on the general Facebook group. Here,
I'm gonna do a Loom video and post it out there anyway.
okay.
That I can put that in there.
So we'll get that for you guys. But yeah, it was actually 8 to 4 because
Yeah, because I was still like 7 p.m.
Yeah,
Eastern time.
that's what I was looking at. That it was really late for Eastern time. It was really convenient for Eastern time, actually. So 8 to 4, guys. 8 to 4 is basically when you're going to have chat support, and that's actually really good time for you guys to be working in there. Sammy, you guys are Eastern Standard Time, so that's all the way till 7. So that's actually a really good time for that.
Yeah, so Eastern it would be 11 to 7. All good.
Hey,
So-
Sean, so since we went to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, are there still specific titles for those 3 days? of
Yes,
what
sir.
you- Can you review that? Eric and I were talking yesterday and I couldn't help him with that.
Tuesdays is whatever the hell I want. Wednesdays is whatever I want, and Thursday is whatever I want. Does that work?
Thursday's SEO, unless Seagal gets our way.
No, Terry. For the next couple weeks, because then some things are going to be different in July. And actually, I'm going to